Welcome back, I'm Bad Bones Legend, and today we are going to talk about I just turned that light on. NHL 18. And we're going to talk about my predictions for this game. Now, I know the game doesn't come out officially till September, November, I believe. If I remember correctly, it was November. But sometimes they alternate the dates between September and November. Sorry about that. I just realized how awkward that camera angle was. So, first of all, we are going to talk about the actual past season that the NHL just had. This past season, what a rush. You had the Senators, they should be renamed to the Andersens after that performance last year. Anderson pretty much carried that team on his shoulders after having one of the worst years of his life. He and his wife, Nicole, if I remember correctly, literally went through hell and back that season. Anderson came back at the very end of the season and put up numbers that were unbelievable for a guy that had missed so much of the season. He carried the team. He fought against the Penguins. He almost stole the entire Game 7 from them. Well, not, you know what I mean. That entire series, he almost stole it from the Penguins. And then you have the Nashville Predators making history with their catfish. Now, we all know how Detroit had their octopus scheme. Now, Nashville has actually got their own thing, which is with catfishes. So, expect that to be a tradition, just like the octopus. Now, we all know PETA's a little pissed off about this. But after seeing that rant that was on Twitter about PETA, I think they're just going to stay silent from now on. They didn't really have much to say after that information came out. So, you got that, you got the Senators, you got the mighty Penguins. And for some reason, Chicago is apparently still hailed as one of the best teams in the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they get knocked out right away? So I don't really see their team being that great next season. That being said, we are going to go into NHL 18. Now, I looked at the ratings. I have to say, I agree with some of them. One of them that is ranked way too low is the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Now, their stats that are on the beta is 81, 82, and then 83 defense, I believe. 81 was their offense, 83 defense, and then 82 was their goaltending. Now that is completely way off. I don't know what the devs were thinking. Fleury had one of the better seasons of his life once again. So they got him. They got James Neal. They got two big names in former Penguins. Then they got Derek England. He's a good defenseman, but would I say he's going to be a first liner for the team? No, I'd say he's anywhere from their 4th to 6th D-man. He's going to play some of the bigger minutes, but he is not going to be the one that they rely on the most. So, once again, their stats are a little messed up on that one. And then Chicago, looking at their stats, Crawford had a bad season. And all of their stats are really good. I think for the game they're going to keep Marian Hossa on the list for characters. They went and put the entire Chicago offense at 100. Now that's tied with the Penguins and a couple of other teams. I believe another one was Tampa Bay. Now, I don't agree with that either. Chicago could not find the back of the net last year. So why are they getting ranked up that high after having one of their bad seasons? I don't have a clue. But for the most part, some of the ratings for the teams that are coming out in the game are accurate. I couldn't actually get at what the players were at, but when I looked at the game, for some reason in NHL 3s that they had, McDavid was made an 87. I would at least consider him an 89. For considering the skill set that he actually has in real life, I'd consider him more of an 89 if I was going to go and give him attribute ratings. He's an 89. I wouldn't put him at 87. Lucic, that's another one that I think is ranked a little bit on the lower side. He is pretty much the goon of the team, if you will, to protect McDavid. Sort of like what they had to do with Gretzky way back in the day. So, there's that. But there's a few teams that don't make any sense with their ratings right now. And then there's teams that make a lot of sense. But the Penguins, for right now, with everybody that they lost in the offseason, I don't see them sitting at 100 rating for offense. I think they're a little below that. They lost Kunitz. I believe they lost Mark Streit to the, I believe it was the Montreal Canadiens that took him. They lost about 3 to 4 players, so they're going to have to fill that role with either rookies or trade and get better players. Now, Washington is another team that their rating is a little offset. What I think has happened for the beta is they just kept everything from the NHL 17. They went and gave some buffs and some nerfs, if you will, to certain characters. But overall, they just kept the player sheet and then carried it over from the playoff run, I think is what they did. So you have that. You have the playoff sheet runs and whatever the character was at in NHL 17 by the end of the year. I think that's what happened. So I'm highly expecting on the day upon release that there is going to be a roster update. And quickly, I just want to point this out. When this is uploading, I'm probably going to be at work, so I won't exactly be able to say any more. Really, this is just prior recorded. It's going to be going up while I'm at work, so yeah, if you leave any comments, I can't really talk too much about this stuff. I don't have a whole lot of time. I got to keep it under 10 minutes. Otherwise, it's going to take like 5 hours to upload without me touching my phone, so anyways, the stats are a little off. Their deking system is a little awkward right now and clunky. It's not as refined as it was in NHL 14 with the one-handed dekes. Now, when you have to go and try and make it again, sometimes stuff happens like this where maybe it's 1 or 2 pixels are out in the wrong place. So now your character model is doing something it normally wouldn't do or shouldn't be doing. But I want to bring in one major flaw in this beta so far. What has been happening is if you score a goal and your skater goes behind the net, if your character is standing right behind the net, you're close to the net, and somebody goes in for that hug celebration, both of your characters will go through the net and out to the other side. They will not go around, nor will they stay in place. The game will literally push their models through the net. Now, I don't agree with this. That's one thing I wish they will fix between here and there. And also the stick controls. They gave us a little more freedom of movement. But what I really wish they would have done with that is worked a little more with the right stick. Now, when you're holding your bumper and your stick is out, your character will have his hand like that, or like this, depending what handedness you are. So you're going to be skating around with the stick, and if you're not skating side to side, your character's not going to have the stick on the left of him. He might have it on the right, and there might be nobody covering the right. So you have to try and hit the thing, move your right stick to the left, but sometimes your character doesn't actually respond to that. What he ends up doing is he pretty much just does a strafe run. He goes one stick back, and if the puck is passed to where your stick was when you're doing that strafe, it goes through your stick or through your skates. That's another thing that they said they were wanting to work on. That's another thing I want them to actually look into, because that's been happening a lot. They need to fix the entire skill stick part of the poke check that they just reintroduced, or just introduced, whichever it was. I don't remember it being in NHL 14, so I think that's brand new for them. But I just want them to fix that because it has a awkward hitbox when you're doing it. And for some reason, unlike the previous NHL games, and don't get me wrong, I like this part, it actually makes it easier to reach in on a opposing player that has the puck. Now, the issue that I'm having with this is I was trying to see how often you're called for a tripping penalty. The answer is not very. If you're doing a strafe run, like I said, technically your stick just gained invincibility. You do the strafe run, the player will not fall in front of you, even if you hit him across both kneecaps with the stick. He'll still be skating with the puck, or he has the potential of, if your stick goes off to the side, and he's at the boards and you reached in, it'll knock the puck away, but he still has a chance to skate through your stick. Now, the thing I suggest they do is create a character model for the stick. I know that sounds a little weird, but the reason why I'm saying that is because stick contact in hockey is one of the most essential things. Now, if you're hacking somebody with your stick, chances are they're going to get a little pissed off. Now, they actually introduced something in this game that makes the other opposing players a little bit pissed off if you just go out and hack them after the whistle is blown. There is a potential to actually call a fight without actually pressing the Y button to engage the fight and ask for a fight. Now, that part I'm fine with. The only thing I'm having an issue with, and I know this sounds bad because I do a lot of tripping in the other NHL games, but it needs to get fixed. There's a split second of where you're invincible with your stick when you're doing the strafing with it. I'm not going to record a clip and put it on YouTube as of yet, but next time it happens, I will definitely post the pic. Well, not the pic, but the video up. You guys can see what I mean. And I'll also post a video of the NHL 18 glitch behind the net. So I just want to say that stuff because I'm going to end this video here. There's a lot more that I can talk about. This video is sort of starting off reality and then going into the video game. Now, I realize it's a beta. There's going to be a lot of changes, but I just want to point out the things that I'm noticing right now so that it can be fixed for the main game. Now, people want authentic hockey experiences, and I think the AI, how strange they can be at times, actually proves that, because sometimes the AI is spontaneous to passing to you when you're open. Sometimes they'll be slow and sluggish and want to be a puck hog. Now, that's actually just like real hockey. You'll have the one guy that's a bender that's just carrying up the puck and then completely loses it. My issue is every time I go to get passed to, or I try passing to somebody else, it usually causes a turnover. Now, even when I'm pushing myself to stay open, the issue with me trying to pass is I don't do saucer passes enough. And this beta actually encourages you to do those saucer passes. The only thing I wish that the AI would do more often is actually saucer passes. They'll have a man on in front of them, and you'll be behind them. Now, if anybody's played hockey before, we know what a saucer pass is. You pass the puck up, it comes off the ice, and then it lands flat back on the ice surface to whoever it was passing to. It can also be considered saucer pass as tape to tape. Now, the thing is with the AI is, yes, they are revamped. They don't turn the puck over as much as they did in NHL 17. But I just wish they would do more saucer passes. If you like this video, please subscribe. Comment down below what you found out about this beta that was kind of ticking you off. And pretty much, that's it. Hit that little notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I post. As of right now, it is every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel. My other channel, which is my actual name, is posting 3 times a week. This channel is 2 times a week. So in other words, I got a content all week, other than weekends. So I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace out.